Welcome to another episode. This is your Captain Tiny, and I'm the first mate, Bubbles. And this is our sailing vessel, Tiny Bubbles. In our previous episode, we had completed 50 hours of captain's training with Tyrone Moore, which was required by our insurance. After a week of training, I'm happy to say that Tyrone signed us off as qualified operators, and our insurance gave us the green light to begin our trip back to Florida. We learned so much and made a great friend in Tyrone. Once Tyrone left the boat, because of the weather, we ended up staying anchored for a week before we could begin our journey. It's been a crazy busy morning. We needed to leave the boat, to rent a car, to get some last minute supplies, and to pick up our sail that we took in for repairs earlier this week. On our way up to pick up our sail.
Hey, hon.
Hey. Knock, knock.
Thank you.
There she is. The wind has been blowing non-stop. We're talking 25, 30 knot winds non-stop. The ferry runs every hour till late at night. Since we've been at this anchorage, the wind has not stopped blowing. We have wind alarms for 25 knots. It's always 25 knots. And it gets upward of 30 knots. Thank God we're protected. This is why we get land sick, because we're always moving. So taking our little electric dinghy to the dock was a very bumpy ride, impossible to record. And once we got to the dock and tied off and pulled all of our bags and backpacks and everything we needed for today off the boat, the dinghy. So the dinghy's been here for several hours. About to lose our fingers. That's not cool. Locked it up and secured it. We walked down the pier to where the gate is, and the gate was locked. That's what we're doing. And I had already asked for an Uber who was 2 minutes away. People are really, really, really nice in Puerto Rico. And a couple that was sitting on a bench on the other side of the locked gate went to the the ferry office and requested that somebody come unlock the gate, which she did. But she then informed us that it was a private dock, which we've used several times before with no problem. But the reason they needed to lock it is because of the strong winds, making the situation dangerous there at the pier. So it looks like we got here just in time. Stuff that we purchased today. Sam's Club and the grocery store. Need to get all that onto that. Go out there in that choppy water to Tiny Bubbles right there. Probably should have taken the ferry. And this guy over here, I'm not sure. He's trying to train this horse to like the water or just break it in some way, but that horse gets handsy. We try to label and organize everything in a way that we can find it once we put it away. And we try to remove all the boxes from the boat because that can attract bugs. So what are you so busy working on right now?
We don't have a generator on this boat. Actually, that's not true. We don't have a dedicated generator in front on this boat. We do have 2 generators, one on each motor, called an integral alternator, high output alternator. They're controlled by this thing. I've been having the starboard one is the master of the 2, and it has had a fault and has not been generating power. So I've had to ask for help from Integral International. Send them a message on a email, and they text me back some stuff. So that's what I'm getting ready to.
And you said somebody answered you from Spain, and it's...
Yeah, so I thought these guys were like on the West Coast or something.
Of the U.S.
Of the U.S. So it would have been, middle of the afternoon there. So I texted this guy and said, or WhatsApped him, and I said, hey, should I do this, or this? The instructions they had given me, there was a little ambiguity to them. And so I was wanting to clear up that ambiguity. And it took a few minutes, and then he answered me. And I said, oh, by the way, where are you in the world? He goes, oh, I'm in Spain. I looked up Spain, it's like 9:45 in the evening there. And I was like, okay, that's customer service. I mean, good grief, man. You shouldn't be...
What is the company?
Integral.
Integral.
Still have an issue.
Our friends from Coddiwomple, James and Nicole. Coddiwomple. I mean, she said the name means...
To roam purposely, to travel purposely without a destination in mind.
Okay, to travel purposely without a destination in mind. This is paper charts for the Bahamas, which honestly is beautiful. I think I would never get rid of them. I guess they go out of date every couple years and they print new ones or whatever, but they're waterproof. Here's one of the Exumas and the Ragged Islands, which I hope to go there. Radio etiquette, cruising communications, metric conversions, distress calls, good anchorages, depths, places to go. It has all the things. You can find it online, but sometimes it's just nice to pull out a paper map and look at it. The far Bahamas with Turks and Caicos. We might be there in a week or so. So yeah, I'm so excited. I mean, each one of these charts was $80, and they brought us 4 of them. Brand new friends that we had just chatted with shortly on our dinghy, who were gracious. We invited them over for drinks and snacks, which turned into dinner. I had some dinner prepared, and
and that's y'all?
And that's us calling y'all that.
Oh my gosh. That's how you get out?
Yeah. Thank you guys very much for inviting me over.
oh yes,
It's really,
I
really
worried
good.
that I wouldn't know people and I wouldn't have anyone to talk to. But guess what?
Would be lonely.
It would be lonely, and I'd
you're
be
about to
out.
learn that
I
you're never
no,
alone.
I'm never gonna be alone, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Coddiwomple also has composting toilets on board, but they were in need of an upgrade, so we arranged for them to have one of ours, since I plan on getting rid of all 3 of ours as soon as we get back to Florida. They messaged the next day to say that it fit nicely in their space. I encouraged them to name it Tiny Bubbles. We are getting ready to leave the Isleta Marina. We're going to Green Beach. Green Beach was about 16 miles away and would take 3 to 4 hours. We just planned a route for it, keeping us in deep water, trying to avoid shoal and shallow areas. What next?
Okay, so we've got that done. Let's see if we can get the trash off the boat.
Okay.
We've got enough food. We have very little water, so we'll plan on making water and power on the way down there.
Yep.
But we get the trash off the boat, get the dinghy back up on and select it, then we'll just go through our normal departure checklist and
It's been a minute.
And then raise the anchor and basically pivot to the right and go south.
The one thing we haven't talked about, though, is what's the wind doing along this route?
First leg, we're going to, this is the island, we're going to go around down here.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to come down into here and then we're going to come out this. So this will be a beam reach down here and then a close haul and then a, make the turn out here and go this way. And about here we'll probably turn up in the wind, sails down, and then motor into the rest of the area.
Okay.
Plan on anchoring right in this area.
Okay. And what kind of sails are you thinking we'll use today?
Just the general and main. Yeah.
Reefed.
Yeah.
Main. We don't need to put it all the way up.
What's the wind down here? It's 15 knots. I mean, we could put it all the way up if we wanted to, but we could set up a first reef and just run the first reef.
I'm thinking in general we should always reef and
Okay.
make life easy.
Okay. Okay. So that's what we're doing.
Okay. Started, so we're good to go. All right, getting ready to pull the anchor. Turn and go that way. All by ourselves. Tyrone, you would be proud. I hope. If we got to make it there first. That's why I didn't text anyone to tell them. I didn't message Tyrone and say, we're going, it's exciting. I'm like, I better get there first, and then we can share the good news. Neutral. I think I've changed my mind about the way I'm going to pivot when the anchor's up. I'm actually going to pivot to the port side. Just wanted you to know. Well, I don't know. I will pivot whichever way the wind is assisting me. How about that? And so we were officially underway on our own. The wind was around 15 to 18 knots. We put up the main and the Genoa and sailed as planned to Green Beach. No issues putting up the sails and no issues taking them down and no issues anchoring. We made it to Green Beach all by our lonesome.
I'm sailing! I'm sailing!
Tyrone, we did it. We sailed all by ourselves today. Went from Isleta Marina to Green Beach. We're here for the night. Didn't hit any rocks, didn't even come close. Made sure we steered very clear, managed traffic, and we're so thankful for all you taught us and that we made it here alive. As always, the captain is checking the anchor. The water's pretty clear. He could see it when we dropped it. But he always wants to take a quick check to make sure in this sandy bottom that it's embedded well. Little piece of paradise. It's the very first overnight we spent with Tyrone. While we were here, we assimilated ourselves with the sails.
And if you notice, there's a bunch of eyes that come through the sail, and then you see the reinforced area right there. That's where reefing point 2 is, where that's that pulley attached. That when your sail goes up, it doesn't go any further than like what this is right now. And then you stretch out that port, it only stretches out the top of the sail, and then you're good to go. Everything else stays below.
This is pretty much where it began. In fact, we just talked to him tonight on the phone to share our fun news that we did it all by ourselves with no incidents, which is the goal.
We dropped it exactly where we thought we were going to drop it.
We did?
Yep. There are starfish all over the bottom of this.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. Throw me the other camera.
Okay. Excuse me. You forgot a spot. Way back there. It's a workout. Boat life is actually a workout. Not every day, not all the time. Maybe not every muscle group. But that man's gonna have some shoulders when we're done. But this was history. Naked sailing.
Naked sailing.
Oh, Adam. My Adam. Will you call me Eve?
Come here, Eve.
How did your cleaning of the outside go?
Oh, I just need to start getting the hookah out and using it. Got the outside, the worst one,
Yeah.
cleaned. I mean, the bottom keel cleaned.
Yeah. Okay.
It'll be at least a knot faster.
A whole knot faster. Are we gonna do that sail plan before we go to bed tonight?
Yeah, because we gotta be moving by about 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
Because it's 10 hours there.
And well, I don't care how experienced we are. We never ever, if we don't have to, want to anchor anywhere at night, especially if we've never been there. And
I want to be there about 3, so we got time to. So
chill.
I want to be
yeah.
moving. I want to be up at 4:30.
All right.
Be moving about 5.
I'll do it, but we gotta put your penis away and eat some dinner and
I'm good.
make a sail plan. Oh, take your time, babe. I'm just fine.
You can turn the damn camera on.
Okay, say bye.
Bye.
No, that should say goodbye. Bye. Look at where I am. This is my living room for the night.
Baby, I don't know where we're going, but we're going together. We're going together.
So this is the parasail bag. Beautiful bag, by the way. Tomorrow's a long day. Distance is not that far, but if we want to not use fuel, which is sort of the goal in general, we have a sailboat, right? You want to sail as much as possible. That's a good sail to deploy. It's going to give us more than our Genoa that we just had repaired can give us. I think our first day out alone, we just wanted it to be chill with no major decision-making points. The more sails you have out, the more you have to plan for bringing them down. Today we kept it really easy. But tomorrow we know for sure that the parasail is going to give us more oomph. And the direction we're sailing, the way the winds are blowing, it seems like the right decision.
Have you done a couple times?
I mean, you've gotten so fast at it. It took us 20 minutes the first time, per line. Now he's got it down to minutes. It's 8 p.m. We gotta get at 4, so got up at 4 o'clock. Getting ready to make way to Coffin Island. Coffin Island was one of our stops when we were with the previous owner taking the boat from the west to the east side of Puerto Rico for rudder repairs. Today's journey was 68 miles and took 10 hours. And as planned, we put up the parasail and enjoyed a beautiful day of sailing. Everything is now cleaning and you are good to go. got some knots.
So physically demanding.
It sure is, but not at the moment.
Can't believe it.
The Oxley is up. Taking us to our destination. True wind speed is 16.0. 10.9. 7. 6.7. Coming back to Coffin Island. Home sweet home. The next day we sailed to Bahia de Bioluminescence, where there were beautiful bioluminescent creatures in the water. We saw a glorious sunset. It was a great place to spend the evening. On our way to Puerto Real. It was a short trip to Puerto Real, taking us back to where we first took ownership of the boat. So how far do we have to go today? What's the plan?
4 miles, 4 hours.
4 hours. We have 19-20 knot winds. We originally thought we would put up the mainsail when we make a turn here in a minute. I think we're opting out of that for now. Instead, we'll just put out the Genoa. That feels more comfortable, more manageable. And yeah, I don't know if we'll motor sail or just sail. That remains to be seen. We're in no hurry. This is pretty great. We are here pretty much where it all began. Not from the beginning, but from the beginning of our ownership of this lovely Leopard 45. We're here in Puerto Real. And I can't remember it being this calm, like ever, which means it's kind of hot and stifling, but it is beautiful. It's quite beautiful. So that bay out there, that's where we came in yesterday. Didn't have the best experience at the fuel dock. Tyrone, I bumped the starboard side a bit, but we recovered. We got our fuel. We did an inspection. It looks honestly just like a scrape. I did that today. I'm very sad. I tried really hard, but I learned a big lesson. Tyrone, Dave, Father Dave, don't hate me. I learned. You probably told me, but sometimes it takes a mistake to really, really learn. No cracks, no damage. But we're here in Puerto Real. A cool thing has happened. Our plan is to leave tomorrow for the DR, Dominican Republic. We need to be out of Puerto Rico in a few days' time to not incur some kind of tax for being here too long, for the boat being here too long. It's pretty chill conditions for us to get across what is known as the Mona Passage between Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic. That can be a kind of a brutal passage, I guess, if the weather isn't cooperative. I think our biggest challenge is that the winds are going to be light. So we are probably going to use a lot of fuel to get across. We're going to have to use those engines to make that happen. As we were arriving back into Puerto Real yesterday, I was on No Foreign Lands, which is an app that connects a community of sailors. You can see what other boats are in the anchorage that you're at, or the bay, or the marina. Most of them who have registered have their boat name. You can reach out to them and send a message if you're inclined to. As I was looking at that, I saw that there was a person that was looking for passage back to the DR during this time frame that we're getting ready to leave. He apparently was here for a boat survey. And honestly, he's over in Fajardo, which is where we came from. It's a bit of a long trip by water, but not so bad by land. And I said to Dale, we probably really should reach out to this person. But I kind of, we're so new, and I don't know if it's the right time to bring people aboard. And then Dale said, it is an overnight passage. We have to sail through the day, through the night, and arrive the next day. And so that made me feel even more like we should investigate this a little more. So I reached out to the person on No Foreign Lands. He also left his number to communicate via WhatsApp. And when I looked at the picture of his profile, I'm like, I think that those faces, he and his wife, those faces look familiar to me. And we looked it up, and sure enough, they are part of our blue water cruising community. So we could not just pass over and not at least offer assistance in getting him back. And they're trying to buy a boat. I mean, we've been on calls once or twice a week for months, and we know what it's like to be out there trying to buy a boat. And so apparently they're here. He's here. Did a survey today on a boat in hopes of buying something for he and his family to start their adventure. They're currently living in Dominican Republic, which is where we're going back to. So to have a third person, someone we actually know at some level, never met face to face, but we know at some level, kind of gives me a great relief. We were going to leave, actually we would have left today, but we've got all day today to just chill and edit some video and walk to a little grocery store and do a little bit of provisioning. So it's going to be better to leave tomorrow and to have a third person to do that overnight watch with us. So I feel grateful. I'm a person of faith. I feel like that's not a coincidence. It's for both of us, it's a blessing. And I can't wait to meet his wife and his kids. So yeah, that's what's happening, and it feels good. It feels good to connect and give back and be truly part of a community in a way that is meaningful. So, online calls are great, but we're all spread out and in different places. So when you get the opportunity to be in the same place with someone, that's pretty special. So I'll keep you posted. Tune in next time when we get pulled over by the Coast Guard while crossing the Mona Passage.
I have no idea.
And Dale tries to resolve an issue in the engine bay. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, like and leave a comment. Tune in next time.